Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you for your Puffco Peak Pro Diamond Dab of the Day. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, add a like, and I respond to the comments. Let's get started with today's topic. What is a hypochondriac? And could we be one? Let's discuss. A hypochondriac stays in perpetual stress about being ill or suffering from a disease. Sounds like me, doesn't it? Yikes. Do we know someone who constantly complains about illnesses and invisible injuries? While it might seem unreal, it happens to so many people. I myself suffer from these strange issues. I never realized I was a hypochondriac until many years after it started. And you know what? Let's discuss what it really means and maybe how we can help. Suffering to be as a hypochondriac is not a physical disorder. People think so. Hypochondria or health anxiety is actually a mental disorder. Many of the symptoms show up after a physical illness has passed, or unfortunately, the passing of a loved one from an illness. It's usually not the first mental condition people that are hypochondriacs have had in their life. Usually comes after an individual suffered some type of OCD, depression, or anxiety in early adulthood. There are symptoms of hypochondria that you can recognize. Some are not easily hidden because they tend to take over the person's life with worry. Let's discuss. Well, how about doing internet searches? One indicator that we could be suffering a health anxiety problem or hypochondria is by the research we conduct online. That's right. Many of us who are hypochondriacs notice small symptoms, little things that aren't serious at all, and they start searching for the reasons for the symptoms. You ever heard of somebody Googling symptoms? Well, then you understand how a hypochondriac operates. For instance, you might notice a mark on your arm, a mole, and you're going to Google it. Well, guess what? You're going to generally take the worst possible scenario and go with that one. And in all honesty, it could be anything, not necessarily a serious illness. Hypochondriacs make multiple doctor's appointments, don't we? When suffering from health anxiety, you're going to visit a ton of doctors. No matter what your main physician says, you cannot keep wondering if something else is wrong with you. You make numerous appointments to other doctors trying to find the truth of your serious condition. I'm told it's muscular, yet I feel like I have cancer or lung problems. That's me, being a hypochondriac, because a hypochondriac is never satisfied with one diagnosis. Will always keep searching for what that little voice of concern speaks to them. I have IBS. All my stomach ailments are all called IBS by doctors. I've searched for years for another solution, IBS. Very frustrating. Well, how about hypochondriacs complain a great deal? Well, we know they do. Constant complaining to friends or family about health is a sign that something's not quite right. Our minds get toxic. It's understandable to complain a little when you feel bad or when you're going through a real illness, but constant complaining is a sign of hypochondriosis, that you're a hypochondriac. I'm one of them. Friends will try to support you, but eventually they're going to start to avoid you because they cannot help you with something that doesn't exist. We have fear of future illnesses. Hypochondriacs have a horrible fear of the future. I worry about getting cancer, about breaking a bone, about contracting what's out there, everything. I'm 24/7 alert with my health, paying attention to all my sneezes, coughs, and stuffiness. If you notice something, and if you're like me, you panic. Usually start looking up symptoms, calling the doctors, find a medical journal. Go in the cabinet to check if you have a pill. We have fear of progressive illnesses, chronic pain. If you're already dealing with an illness and it's stress as well, you may be obsessed with getting worse, like me. You may even just have a common cold, but you fear it will lead to something much worse, even death, especially with what's going on in the world right now. But by feeling this way, we confine ourselves into a box. We really do. And it's going to lead to something worse. Monitoring our sickness, dreading what's to come. Unfortunately, we're hypochondriacs. We also tend to be germaphobes. Use public transportation, a public facility, even a restaurant or a friend's home. You'll be cleaning your hands with a lot of sanitizer. Many, but not all hypochondriacs, refuse to own pets because of extra germs. Sugar is my baby, so she sleeps with me, does everything with me, so at least I'm not that way. But you know what? We have pharmacies in our purses or our pockets or our cabinets at home. There's not a short way to say it. Hypochondriacs usually carry all their medicines: headache, allergy, pain, stomach. If you don't carry a purse, you shove them into your pockets somehow. And bandages. Either way, unfortunately, hypochondriacs feel they should be prepared for the worst at all times. Well, it's me. And if it's you, I bet you're expecting a contagious cold to come your way tonight. Or you're going to expect a fall going downstairs to your kitchen with at least a scraped knee. Some of us may even carry antibiotics in case we scrape that knee. I know it sounds absolutely outlandish, but hypochondriacs like me often concoct ideas like this on a regular basis, so we're always prepared. The question really is, are we really sick? Is our life on hold because of some imagined illness? If so, we've got to get life working again. Stop and clear our minds. Are we really hurting? Is there a logical reason? If we're not hurting, if we're not, maybe then we should consider the possibility that nothing's wrong. I know that's incredibly difficult to imagine, especially if you've been a hypochondriac like me most of your life. But from me to you, and I always tell you how it is, if you've realized it's happening, you're on the way to recovery, or at least knowing what's happening, and then help's available. If you need to speak with a professional, please do it. Create a game plan for yourself so that somehow we can come out a winner. Because you know what? It's not just me. I've had relatives. My sister was a very, very sick hypochondriac, and she suffered all of her life until she passed like that. And you know what? I truly don't want anyone to become like that. I'm like that, but because of Mrs. Stoner, thank God, it doesn't manifest itself all the time. If you're like that and you can't escape from it, try to find some help. Try to find some help. I know it sounds hard because when you look in a mirror, you look at your face or your hair or your skin, you say, oh, something's wrong. But at this point, when you realize that you do know something's wrong, please find a way to get help. This is the real Senior Stoner, and I truly hope that I've helped as many out there today as possible with this affliction. I suffer from it. I truly understand it, and it is a difficult affliction to cope with. And I think Sugar agrees. Thanks again, everybody, for joining me today. Sometimes these topics are a little bit more difficult than others. This one is where the rubber meets the road. Let's all try to give ourselves a break with our hypochondriosis, our health anxiety, and do the best we can. Cheers. That's all anybody can do. Have a great day, and thanks for joining me today. Cheers. And have a great day, everybody.